Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for reaction to another dismal display at Ibrox today. I'm joined by Ryan. We're going to talk through where it went wrong for us today. Get straight to it then, Ryan. We talk about it all the time, how important a good start is in these games, particularly away from home. And today we kept the ball for about 90 seconds and then Lustig dwelled on it, lost it to Kent. We gave away the free kick. And then it's such a poor goal for us to lose 2 minutes in, isn't it?
2 minutes in, terrible goal to lose. I thought Lustig, before the game kicked off, I said to you that Kent Lustig would be a thing, and within 90 seconds it proved to be just that thing. I think it's disappointing the way that the goal went in. It was delivered, hooked in well, it was plenty of speed. It just missed everyone, and Bain was waiting on someone to get some sort of connection onto the ball so that he could then react. It was Bain's side of the goal. You kind of hoped that he would have that covered even if the ball was coming right through, but he was caught in two minds, and I think straight for the off that gave them the impetus, the momentum to build on and do something with the game, and it put us right in the back foot. So unfortunately, as I'm sure we'll continue to delve into, that was just the way the game went.
As you say, just handed them a foothold in the game, and that's something that we've done tons of times this season. We've handed Rangers lifelines and given them oxygen when it would have been so easily avoidable not to.
Yeah.
I talked about the psychology of the game in the previous show, and all 4 times that we had gone behind this season, we had went on to lose. That's 5 times today.
Yeah.
We haven't recovered any points from a losing position. What do you think that tells you about this squad?
You hit the nail on the head just when the game finished there, and you said that we're coming to the end of a cycle, and I think that is exactly what that shows, is that we are now at the end of a cycle with this team. This team as it is needs completely smashed, broken down and built up again. We need something new. We need a whole. We know there's a number of different decisions to be made before we can go building the team again. We need to know who the manager's going to be again. We'll touch on that, I would imagine. But at this point in time, we need almost a kind of full rebuild of the team. We need something new and fresh injected into it. That team does not anymore have the belief that it once did. That it can bounce back from anything in those 5 now games where we've gone behind. It's been proven this season. This season has not been a great season to watch, but again, like you said to me, we're on the cusp of a treble, and that cannot be sniffed at, even the terrible form that we've had a lot of the time throughout this season.
I think that brings us on. We're missing some key players today.
Yeah.
Again. Similar to last time at Ibrox, we were without Forrest and Tierney today, massive losses for us, particularly Tierney. We've seen Burke start, and obviously Mikey Johnston as well. Johnny Hayes played at left back. But do you think what we've seen today just highlights that the depth in the squad isn't really good enough, and that these backup or fringe players aren't really making the cut when they've had their chance?
Yes, 100%, and I think we've discussed it before when the previous manager was still here, that effectively he bought a lot of fringe players who were not good enough for the first team, and when you buy players that are back up, you kind of want them to have a certain level of quality so that you're not totally compromising the football that the team will play when you put in those backup players. And I think today you saw that the football standard that we delivered with Tierney and Forrest out of the team, and a number of other players who, like Christie, has been a shining star for us this season, and what has been a pretty poor season team wise. We've suffered with injuries, but with those key players that I would consider people who would create something in a game like today, we just lacked any depth of quality. So yes, there was names in the bench who Sinclair, you would like to think back seasons ago would have done well when he came on. There's just not enough depth of quality there.
I think we've probably seen this coming today. I think when you look at the kind of season we've had and how we've finished the season, obviously it's been a tumultuous one in a lot of ways. But coming to Ibrox, you know exactly what to expect, and there's a lot of other factors that you can look at today, other than the fact that maybe the players who came in didn't step up to the plate, they weren't good enough. I think we lost far too many second balls, first balls as well for that matter, but we were in many ways outfought as well.
Yeah.
But I talked about it again in terms of what effect the pressure being off would have for us. This team, as we've seen for the past 3 years, more often than not domestically, they get the result under pressure domestically. With the pressure being off, having won the title last week, we've seen a real drop off today, didn't we?
Massive drop off today. I also think that it isn't exactly a misrepresentation of the way that a lot of the form this year has gone, where we turn up for a game and then the next game week where you're looking for a wee bit of momentum to build. Often it's been the opposite. Often we've gone, put on a good performance, which we did certainly in the second half last week up at Pittodrie. Really good game, and today that was nowhere to be seen. It was like the same team didn't turn up, and Neil Lennon a couple of weeks back said it's attitude with the players, because you can't have the same players stepping out onto the park and performing really well one week and not the next without it being something with attitude. Nothing changed in terms of the training, and I think when you look at that today, the players' attitudes probably leave a lot to be desired, just in the way that they stepped up and didn't deliver when you would like them to have to. I
think in the end it's possibly a blessing in disguise today for what's to come in the summer. I think it's a reminder of what we need to do in the summer. I think if we'd ran out comfortable winners today, Neil Lennon was probably a stick on to get the job full time. Again, we did see that drop off. I think I've touched on already, you could kind of see it coming.
Yeah.
The big push to get over the line we've got in there. In many ways, I think, having discussed where this squad is at and everything they've come through this season, it's almost a miracle that we're here 8 in a row, closing in a treble.
Absolutely.
So on the one hand, they've done brilliantly to get here, but on the other, do you think we've seen a reminder today of the improvements that we have to make off the park and on the park in the summer?
Without question, like genuinely, this season has just been one of those ones that it's just been one of those seasons that you just could never have seen coming. This time last year you couldn't have seen this being the outcome. We were streets ahead.
February you couldn't have seen this coming. The way it's finished.
So the way it's finished. But genuinely, last season at this time, if you told me this is where we'd be sitting this year, I would probably have laughed at you. I genuinely would like to think that, and probably the deepest part of me still thinks that if Lennon delivers the treble, that there's a strong possibility he'll be given a job. I would like to think he won't, and there'll be a bit more ambition shown for the club to rebuild the squad from the top. So we get someone in who can really deliver the next couple of seasons at a high quality, and get a bit of kind of momentum growing within the club again. Sometimes it takes that, something with a wee bit of quality, somebody with a wee bit of background that the players would respect and really kind of perform under, to come in and push ahead. So I would like to think that who we're at the moment, we have seen today again that it's time to rebuild. But it's time to rebuild both on and off the park, like you said. So you've hit the nail on the head there, and it is time to do something about it.
Yeah, like I touched on, with maybe the result being a blessing in disguise today, I think it's fortunate that the game means nothing in the grand scheme of things. Okay, it's horrible to lose a derby. It was a terrible performance. Not one that was good to watch. Very tough to sit through. But in the grand scheme of things, it means very little. We've won the league, but it needs to serve as that impetus for us to make sure that we recruit properly in the summer, and for the club to make sure that they get the recruitment right in terms of who the next manager is going to be.
Yeah.
It's still very much, and we're all in the dark about what's happening. We don't know if the process has started. The focus should still be all in the cup final. and everybody should be behind the team and Neil Lennon gearing towards that. But we don't know where the recruitment process is at. I think we've got to get somebody of the highest calibre that we can, and really refresh the squad in the areas that we need to, and come into next season absolutely recharged, and ready to chase down 9 in a row.
Yep. For me, it can't be a decision based on finances. Like, it has to be the best decision for the club, which probably, like, you have to encapsulate both the quality manager you're bringing in and the financial aspect of it. But I think it can't be solely down to just the cheapest guy to bring in, and make the club, I suppose, stronger financially again. I think it has to be about delivering the next league. I think it has to be.
Absolutely. On the next week, Trophy Day.
Yep.
Might be a bit of a non-event. You know, those sort of last days of the season.
That last season.
We seen that last season against Aberdeen. I think because we're playing Hearts in the cup final the very next week, I'd expect us to make maybe a couple of changes. Hearts are rotating a lot just now.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't think either team is going to want to give too much away ahead of the cup final. But 2 games left, and hopefully we can secure the treble, and then massive summer for us, but exciting in many ways, and to see what direction we're going to go.
It is exciting. It's a good time to, at the end of this season, which has been a long, hard slog at times. You and I have sat through a couple of disappointing games results and all that sort of stuff, but at the end of the day, we're now at a point where we're getting to the end. If we deliver the treble, if the club can bring that home, absolutely unheard of. It will never be done again, certainly in our lifetime, and it's just, all things aren't bad. When you sit through the Glasgow Derby and you're on the losing side, it sometimes feels like everything's bad, but when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, we're certainly not too bad off at all.
Definitely. Chasing down 9 in a row.
Chasing down 9 in a row.
What a time to be a Celtic fan. That is it for today. You know what to do. Like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you for Trophy Day at Celtic Park next week. Thank you very much.
Hail, hail.